once golden image. The USOC is outlining new reforms to combat problems like the ones that caused the Salt Lake City bribery scandal. The group's president said they are committed to making things right again, so they'll open up meetings, make budgets available, and keep a closer watch on the bidding process. It was a long time coming, but 3 of the surviving Houston octuplets are expected to go home this week. There are 7 babies left. The smallest died of heart and lung failure a week after delivery. The babies are about 2.5 months old right now. Women in Japan have wanted them for years, but doctors were opposed. The birth control pill is finally coming to Japan. The issue came to a head after the health ministry quickly approved the anti-impotence drug Viagra. Physicians claimed they were worried about side effects from the pill, but women's groups claim doctors don't want a decline in abortions, which are a lucrative business in Japan. And those are the headlines this half hour. We'll have more news in another half hour, but right now, we're going to take it back to Shepard Smith. Shepard?
Thank you, Lauren.
Good. Thank you very much.
Good what? Good that I didn't say anything to you?
Good that you're behaving, yes.
God knows, I don't know what I've done around here, but everybody's mad at me now. Me. Be sorry for me. Here we go. Most of America will probably tune in to watch Monica tonight. You may say you're not, but I bet you tune in to watch her say all her stuff. But is there one person, or there is one person, who says he will not be watching, and that is the president himself. Instead, he'll be trying to raise some money for his party. Our White House correspondent, Wendell Goler, is live now at the president's residence with details. Wendell, I can't believe he's not going to be watching this.
Well, Shepard, the president leaves here about 3 hours from now for New Jersey, where he will headline a fundraiser for Senator Bob Torricelli. We're hoping to raise about $1.5 million for the Democrat, who doesn't even run for re-election until 2002. The First Lady, meanwhile, will be in New York at a fundraiser there. Neither, aides say, will be watching when Monica Lewinsky makes her U.S. television debut. Earlier today, the president and Democrats gathered together to get the jump on Republicans who are still putting together their legislative agenda by putting on a show of unity behind the president's plan, which is called Putting Families First. The Democrats borrowed the Library of Congress for a rally over the plan the president laid out in his State of the Union address. The centerpiece, of course, is proposal to devote about 2/3 of the budget surplus to shoring up the Social Security system, an idea Republicans have upped the ante on by suggesting all the budget surplus be devoted either to Social Security or reducing the national debt. Both parties are talking about higher spending on education and defense, but they differ over what to do about Medicare, which goes broke about 10 years from now, and which the president says should also get a big chunk of the surplus as well.
Use the budget surplus to save Social Security, to save Medicare, to pay down the debt. Then we can have an honest and principled disagreement about how much and what kind of tax cut we need with the rest, about how much should go to education, how much should go to defense.
Well, the First Lady's about to speak here in New York City. Is she a candidate, or what in the world is going on to the Plaza Hotel and Hillary Rodham Clinton? Let's listen, why don't we?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you. You know, I was asked a few months ago if I would come to New York for a WLF event with a few of my friends, and it is just an amazing sight to behold all of you, and there's an overflow room that I will visit. I want to tell everybody who's there, which is nearly as big as this room, and it gives me just a great boost to see all of you here and supporting causes and concerns that we share. There are many people to thank. Like Laura, I wish that I could single out many of you whom I know personally and have worked with, have become friends of mine. But I want to start by thanking Laura for her extraordinary leadership and commitment. She is legendary in her willingness to work hard on behalf of causes and candidates that she believes in, and I'm very grateful to her. I also want to thank Roy Romer, who is here, the DNC General Chair, the former long-serving governor of Colorado. I'm delighted that Chuck Schumer could have been with us, and I understand why he needs to hurry back to Washington to be there for whatever vote needs to take place. I'm also told that the Attorney General, Landslide Spitzer, is here with his wife, Silda, and I'm delighted they could be with us. I think that Judith Hope, the New York State Party Chair, is here as well, and I'm glad to greet Judith. And also, I believe that Public Advocate Mark Green is here, and Mark, somewhere. The City Council Speaker, Peter Vallone, I think Peter is with us as well. There are other members of the New York City Council. I don't have names, but I want to thank you, and maybe you could stand and we could recognize you and express our appreciation that you would come today. The Manhattan Borough President, Virginia Fields, is here. Thank you, Virginia, for coming. And the Bronx Borough President, Freddie Farrar, is here somewhere, and I want to thank President Farrar for being with us. The DNC Vice Chair, Bill Lynch, DNC Finance Chair, Beth DeZortz, I think the first woman to hold that position, which makes me very pleased indeed. The WLF National Chair, Cynthia Friedman, I want to thank Cynthia, and there are board members, including my friend Shahara Ahmad Llewellyn, who is here in the crowd, and the WLF Connecticut Chapter Chair, Ronnie Gannad, is here as well. As I said, though, I mean, literally, I could identify and point out so many of you in this room. There is one person I want especially to thank. Her tireless commitment and her vision about the kind of country we want to be as we move toward a new century has helped to fill this room with people who are both activists and donors. She's a
As the introductions and the thank yous continue, we want to stay with the First Lady. Sorry for the shaky picture there, but this room is packed. Once this was announced that the First Lady would actually be speaking at the Women's Leadership Forum today on the south end of Central Park, the tickets started going like wildfire, and the First Lady mentioned that there were a lot of people in an overflow room. Well, this is a high-dollar fundraiser, and suddenly the money was flowing in head over heels. They created a second room across from this building where others could watch on giant TV screens, and the First Lady has promised to go in there and give her greetings to that group as well. Keep in mind that the First Lady at this moment is speaking, as I said, on the south end of Central Park to a group of people who may one day very soon be in a position to vote for her, possibly as a senator from the state of New York. Let's listen in as I believe her remarks are now beginning.
That is really the result of the hard work and the dedication of countless millions of Americans. Every time a businessman or woman made a decision to reach down deep and take a risk and employ more people and try to expand, to go into new markets and really make a mark for him or herself, that was a decision that helped move us forward. Every time a teacher looked out at a diverse group of students and said, you know, I'm going to do everything in my power to give these young boys and girls the chance they deserve, that was also a decision for the kind of future we want. Every time a doctor or a nurse, you know, said to themselves, you know, I'm going to do what I need to do for this patient, and I'm going to fulfill my obligations, and I'm going to try to make this healthcare system work for people and not just for accountants or bureaucrats, that moved us forward as to the kind of country we want to be. There are countless examples. People whose names might be in a headline and people who would never be in the newspaper, but you and I know, people who are doing the very best they can every single day to make a contribution and to try to make a difference. Now, I know that some people, when we talk about politics or public service, you know, you can see that they're put off. They don't know quite how to think about what it is that makes our democracy vibrant. And I'm often asked, as I've told some of you before, you know, what do you really think about politics? Or in a slightly more biased tone, how can you stand politics? And whenever someone asks me that, I pause for a minute and I say, well, you know, have you ever been a member of a family or a church or a synagogue or a civic organization or anything else where you had to work with people to make decisions by consensus, by majority vote, by working out the likes and dislikes of all the people who you were working with? Because really politics with a small p is how in a democracy we get along with one another and we make decisions that we think are in our best interest as well as the larger societies or a families or a group. And when we think about it that way, more in the line of de Tocqueville and others, we can see how unique this great American experiment is, how lucky we are that we have for more than 200 plus years now understood that politics in the good times and the bad times is really the lifeblood of a democracy. And so when
Hillary Rodham Clinton, who this day walks like a candidate, talks like a candidate, but officially is not a candidate for the U.S. Senate from the great state of New York. At the White House now, our White House correspondent Wendell Goler. Wendell, what's the First Lady up to here?
Shepard, she's up to walking and talking like a candidate for the Senate of the United States from New York. She'll be doing that tomorrow as well, even though she is, of course, not declared at all, and may take the better part of the year to make up her mind. Mrs. Clinton will appear at a middle school in New York City tomorrow and also make a speech at the United Nations marking International Women's Day, gathering support in the state where she may perhaps in the year 2000 run for the Senate seat being vacated by Daniel Patrick Moynihan. Shepard?
Now, officially, she's still just considering that or looking into it closely, correct?
Yes, and determined to take her time considering, not to be rushed by those who say that it will be much easier for her to raise money than perhaps another candidate, and that it would be fairer to them for her to make up her mind earlier, Shep.
Some of the cynics had suggested, Wendell, that maybe there was just all this talk of a Senate race from New York to try and divert all of our attention from her husband in the post-impeachment era. Is that what some people there are thinking as well?
Well, not at the White House. What people are thinking here at the White House is here is a First Lady who is extremely popular, whose popularity has soared over the past year and a half, the most difficult time of her life, and who would be a formidable candidate should she decide to run in New York next year.
Wendell Goler at the First Lady's house in Washington. Thanks. Up next, the other side of this coin, Monica, as in Lewinsky, as in the woman who's sorry all this ever happened. She's bigger than life on TV. In just 7 hours and 44 minutes, whatever. Stick around.
This program is brought to you by Micron Electronics. New rules, new tools.
This is really something. This pain reliever is so effective that even on tough dental pain, it worked better than prescription-strength Tylenol with codeine. You see this one? For 14 years, people have counted on this for relief that's gentle on the stomach. And you may be surprised to learn that both are Advil. It's true. Advil worked better than a prescription pain reliever. And millions of people can tell you it's gentle to the stomach. Strong, yet gentle. Advil.
My granddaughter followed my every move. But the other day when I set out to give her a lesson, it turned out I was the one with something to learn about my dentures. So I decided to try Fix-It Fresh. It forms a thin yet strong seal for a more secure fit and a fresh feeling. You know, you're never too old to learn something new. Fix-It Fresh and forget it.
Want a biscuit that's bigger? Try Pillsbury Grand's biscuits. They're our biggest biscuits.
Big? Why, they're huge!
Big, delicious buttermilk biscuits that are light and fluffy. It's a taste your family will love.
They're not just big, they're grand! Woohoo!
For a hearty taste, try Golden Wheat or Golden Corn Grands. Huh?
Lunch is served.
You can't eat me, Putty Tat.
You're right. And you know why, my fine feathered friend?
It's not in my contract?
No, because a sandwich just isn't a sandwich without the tangy...
Yeah! What's eating him?
Hi, I'm Dick Clark, and now everyone can enjoy the freedom of the new ISIS cellular phone from Philips thanks to prepaid cellular.
Introducing prepaid cellular. With prepaid cellular phone cards, there's no monthly bills.
Take the phone just in case.
Thank you.
And no contract, no credit check, and no deposit. Got car trouble?
My car is broken down. Can you come and help?
Help is just a call away. So forget those outrageous phone bills. With prepaid cellular phone cards, buying airtime is easy. Order from home and the phone arrives at your door ready to use.
Get the Philips ISIS prepaid cellular phone, complete with battery and charger. A $199 value, now just $99.
And there's no contract, no credit check, no deposit, and no monthly bills.
So pick up the phone, America. It's for you.
To order from Shared Technologies, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-554-1605. Call today.
"19 minutes past the hour now, and what just may be one of the last gaps of the affair of the century. Tonight, the airing of Barbara Walters' interview with one Monica Lewinsky. The New York Daily News somehow got an audio tape copy of the first hour of the Walters-Lewinsky sit-down. In it, Monica apologizes to Hillary and Chelsea. Quote, "I wouldn't dream of asking Chelsea or Mrs. Clinton to forgive me, but I would ask them to know that I am very sorry for what happened and for what they've been through." And when pressed about the nature of the relationship, she added, quote, "This is about a man and a woman, not about a president and an intern. We would talk, we would laugh, we would tell jokes. He was very tender with me. He was very affectionate." Here to offer a political twist on Monica's big moment, we're joined in Washington by a couple of people in Washington, beginning there in Washington by Florida Congressman Robert Wexler of the House Judiciary Committee and former South Dakota Senator Larry Pressler. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Thank you.
Between a man and a woman, not an intern and a president, what do you think?
Well, let me say, first of all, I'm kind of like the unwashed public. I'm out of the Senate. I've spent a lot of time abroad. In fact, I was in Cuba during the trial, so I didn't even have access to C-SPAN or CNN. But let me say that I hope this is the beginning of a new chapter for bipartisanship. I think now the country has a great opportunity. I don't even know if I'm going to watch the interview tonight.
Come on.
And I probably won't buy the book.
You won't watch tonight? You're still considering whether or not you'll watch? I mean, after all that we've been through, you won't even listen?
Well, I'll probably listen to excerpts from it. But the point is, I really want to move on to a bipartisan era. I think now we have a real opportunity. I sense in Congress that things may well come together more so than they have in the past. What do you think? There are some bigger issues. There are some bigger issues. I'm now a lawyer, and I advise clients on, sexual behavior in the workplace and so forth, and usually advise them to get a company-wide memorandum stating that even concessional sense in the workplace is inappropriate and so forth. Maybe some of those standards will change slightly. I don't think so, but I think we've got this behind us now, and as a private citizen, I'm glad of it.
Robert Wexler, will you be watching tonight?
I doubt it. I can't imagine that there'd be anything newsworthy or anything new, and I would join with Senator Pressler in saying it is time for the country to move on. It is time for the Congress to act in a bipartisan fashion to address some of the pressing needs. There are some things we can do, like beefing up our military readiness, responding to the situation in Kosovo. We can, in fact, begin the debate on Social Security as one group of Americans, Democrats and Republicans together, and that's what the most important thing that needs to be done now.
But you think, politically speaking, anything that's happened over the past year, and certainly culminating tonight with the Chick Chat on ABC, do you think any of this is going to change anything? I mean, sexual harassment in the workplace, do you think we'll have new ideas about what's appropriate for our offices and what isn't? Anything?
Well, I think there's obviously a greater heightened awareness of sexual harassment and potential issues in the workplace. It's in the discussion now every day in the newspapers, editorial writers and so forth. And that may be one of the good things that come of this, so that Americans can have an enlightened debate about what is appropriate and what is not appropriate in the workplace. And we can have fair laws that treat both the worker and the employer appropriately. And that would be a good thing that would come of this. And I would welcome that debate in Congress.
And you're telling me, Mr. Wexler, you will not be watching tonight?
I don't think it would be of great interest to me, no. I mean, you know, after you've listened and read all the transcripts and so forth, what possibly could be new?
I don't know, but I can't imagine anything possibly keeping me away from that television set to watch a little bit. I mean, I've been living this thing as badly as you have. I've been stuck in this seat for a solid year talking about this stuff. I'm going to listen to Monica Lewinsky tonight, and I bet you something, dollars to New York rent, you'll be watching a little bit of it.
Well, actually, no, I've got 3 little kids, so that's about the time we're putting them to sleep.
Okay.
But, you know, let me say, I think that our country came through this whole thing pretty well compared with what other democracies might experience. In general, at a distance, the Congress was presented with a problem. The Congress dealt with it, and making sausages is not pretty. Watching legislation is not a pretty process. But we have come through this as a nation. The stock market is solid. Our country is prospering, and the Congress is moving forward on new issues. I think it's a compliment to our democracy and to our institutions.
But where are we morally? We're almost out of time, but has this said anything to us about where we stand morally?
It may well, and indeed one of my jobs as a lawyer is to advise companies, CEOs on all these, and when they have problems. And the standard still is not even consensual sex in the workplace. That's a standard we give, advice we give to our companies that we're advising. I think that will stay the same.
All right. Former Senator Pressler and Robert Wexler as well. Thanks to both of you for dropping by Britt Hume's neighborhood there. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you all soon. And when we come back, Steve, the real deal Ducey, will drop by with a little weather across the nation. It's a little nasty in some places and actually kind of warm in others. Wait till you see the national forecast. And what's the other thing coming up there, Keith? Hey, Keith, what else is coming up? Keith isn't answering me. There's the weather thing, and there's the shot outside the building. Headlines and news. Thank you, Keith. We're going to Lauren Green at the Fox News desk in a second. Stick around. We'll figure it out. We'll pay some bills, and we'll be back.
Taking out your aggressions on your gums? Dentists say 36 million Americans brush too hard. So Mentadent invented ProCare, the only brush that bends like this. To be gentle on gums, it helps to be flexible. Mentadent ProCare.
Life is for playing. That's why we created Benejoint Arthritis Cream. Soothing glucosamine from shark cartilage. Powerful capsaicin. Benejoint really works. Keep rocking.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty, oh my, he's going to fall.
Little Sherry is about to discover Charmin Ultra. It's softer than regular bath tissue, and Charmin Ultra is even soft enough for this. Facial tissue soft, and it's the strongest one, too. Charmin Ultra, where softness and strength form the perfect combination. Charmin, where would you be without it?
A proper gentleman eats one cookie at a time.
But these aren't cookies. They're Newtons.
Oh, we can't be proper all the time, now can we?
A cookie is just a cookie, but Newtons are fruit and cake. And now Fig Newtons are better than ever, because they're moister than ever.
Half can be bad, or half can be good. Maxwell House Light, half the caffeine in the full, rich flavor of regular coffee.
Hi, it's Lynn. We met the other night. I really want you to call me. My number's 397-42.
Half can be bad, or half can be good. Maxwell House Light, half the caffeine in the full, rich flavor of regular coffee.
Only FXM Movies from Fox delivers drama, action, romance, classic musicals, and your favorite comedies.
We're on a roll!
Hollywood's first movie network, FXM, brings you the best from 60 years of 20th Century Fox filmmaking, uncut and commercial-free. Catch original short films from up-and-coming filmmakers. Leanza Cornett has the latest Hollywood buzz on FXM dailies. Call your local cable operator about this new movie network today.
Okay, so now the rain is still heavy in the south, and it's headed this way, right?
Rain?
All right, get out your
Heavy
umbrellas.
rain?
All right, you guys. Hey, by the way, Shepard, I'd like to introduce you to my team of meteorologists. You guys are done. Go on over there. I'll meet you over at the ISO bar. All right, good. All right. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, folks. It is warmer here in the east, and as you can see, the warm temperatures right down through portions of Washington, D.C., but Atlanta right now has 38 degrees. Why? Because the cold front is moving through and it's bringing a lot of rain, and that's why those guys had the umbrellas out. The rain is starting to scoot up the eastern coast. As you can see ahead of it, though, and behind it, we've got some cold air and a little snow and ice, and it could make for a real icky drive home later today. This is the map for 4 o'clock this afternoon, just as people are heading home. For the most part, temperatures in the 50s in the east, but behind the front, temperatures more like they should be. 36 in Chicago and 61, believe it or not, in Denver. What's that about? No idea. And once again today, it is raining in the Pacific Northwest. It'll continue out there tomorrow, but the good news is for the folks in the east where we've had the rain today, it's going to be out of there. Yeah, maybe a little snow around the lakes, but nothing much. All right, that's the very latest from the Weather Center. Now back over to the hardest working man in daytime television, Mr. Shepard.
Well, you know, it just started raining outside, Deuce.
Thank you very much.
In the middle of your weathercast, the umbrellas came out outside.
Thank you very much.
Can you show out there? The umbrellas just started coming out. Right as you started talking, you brought the mean clouds upon the big city.
It's what I can do with this little thing right here, the clicker.
And I was watching Fox 5 this morning, and Julie Golden told me this morning that it's probably going to be snizzling, raining, drizzling on my commute home this afternoon.
Let me get this straight, Shepard. You're going to somebody else for your meteorological data?
Well, for my local New York news, I watch local Fox 5. All right, I'm in trouble now. Okay, see you later, Deuce. It's 1:30 in the east. That means 12, 11, 10:30 in the west. And straight ahead on Fox News Now, Monica. She's up in just about 7.5 hours. How will her eagerly anticipated sit-down with Barbara Walters stack up against the most highly watched interviews of all time? We put Bill McCuddy on it, and he'll bring us the details coming up. Plus, we'll tell you about a couple looking for an egg donor. But not just any old egg. We're not talking Easter here. This couple has a truckload of egg qualifications. They're trying to make a baby, a very special baby. You got to see this. Plus, we'll give you your daily dose of celebrity gossip in our New York Post Page 6 report. But first, at the bottom of the hour, time now for the top of the news. And for that, we turn to the Fox News desk and our friend Lauren Green. Hello, Lauren.
It's nice to know that I'm your friend.
Yes, you are.
Thank
Still,
you.
after all the evil things you've said today.
Thank you very much, Shepard. Good day, everyone. Closing arguments are over. Now it's a military jury's turn to decide whether a Marine Corps pilot is a criminal or just a badly trained officer. Captain Richard Ashby sliced a ski gondola cable with his jet last year. That sent 20 people plunging to their deaths. Ashby faces more than 200 years in prison if he's convicted of all counts of involuntary manslaughter. Get ready for the full Monica. The president's former mistress bears her soul on network TV tonight, and her book is out tomorrow. Lewinsky tells Barbara Walters she felt like a piece of trash when the president apologized to the nation, but not to her. And in the book, she takes shots at independent counsel Ken Starr, complaining about his, quote, dubious methods. The U.S. Olympic Committee wants to put the luster back in Olympic gold. The USOC is outlining new reforms to combat problems like the ones that caused the Salt Lake City bribery scandal. The group's president said they are committed to making things right again. So it will open up committee meetings and budgets and keep a closer watch on the bidding process. A ski trip in New Mexico has ended in tragedy. A bus returning children to Santa Fe from the outing overturned yesterday. One child and an adult chaperone died. They were thrown through the windshield. 30 others were hurt in the accident. One witness says the bus went off the small road onto an embankment. It hit a large rock before overturning. Uganda's president is taking some of the blame for the brutal murder of several tourists there. He said mistakes were made by park rangers who never alerted the military that a security problem existed. Rwandan rebels kidnapped more than a dozen foreigners and then killed 8 of them, including 2 Americans. A manhunt is underway for the killers. The FBI is also investigating. Anti-smoking forces are promising to launch a world war against big tobacco. A group called the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids have joined 3 senators to sponsor a conference on the issue later this month. Illinois Democrat Dick Durbin says it's important that people know that the Marlboro Man hasn't replaced the Statue of Liberty as the symbol of America. A great voice from the 60s is gone. Dusty Springfield died last night after a long battle with breast cancer. Her hits included You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, Wishin' and Hopin', and Son of a Preacher Man. Elton John says Springfield was the first singer he idolized. Dusty Springfield was 59. And those are the headlines this half hour. We're going to send it back over to Shepard Smith. Shepard?
All right, Lauren Green, thank you very much. Now, if you have any stocks or a 401k money in the bank or any of that, you need to know what's going on down on Wall Street, don't you? Well, our senior business correspondent, Karen Gibbs, has the latest on what's happening in the business world. Hello, Karen.
Hey, Chef. What's going on?
It's all good.
Well, I wish it were so on Wall Street. It started off kind of all good, but we've been flipping on either side of unchanged now and are actually gaining some momentum to the downside, with investors pretty much fixated on Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan's appearance on Capitol Hill before a House Banking Committee and ahead of Friday's all-important February employment situation report. Look for that unemployment rate to stay steady at 4.3%, with the economy producing a healthy 225,000 jobs. And in fact, Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan remains very upbeat on this economy, but he is cautioning about investing Social Security money in the stock market. You know, that's the administration's plan that they're floating, and a lot of talk about that. But Mr. Greenspan is saying that this could undermine the market pricing mechanism, basically saying that if we have Social Security money invested in the stock market, it would be pretty bad if the stock market went down.
Yeah,
and so there is possible some manipulation there. And so he's warning about that. He also warns particularly senior citizens about being overinvested in the Internet. He says it's especially bad to not diversify, that if something happens to that sector, you could see your savings pretty much erode dramatically. But that certainly didn't stop the Internet sector. It still keeps rolling today. eBay, that online auctioneer, up 3 1/4. Amazon up 1 7/8. Intel and Microsoft still doing quite well, gaining 1 3/8 for Microsoft, almost over 2.5 points for Intel. But a mixed picture, AOL flat, Yahoo unchanged. And Payne Webber, well, the nation's 5th largest brokerage company, is recognizing the growing importance of the Internet. And because of that, they are going to take a 25% stake in a net software developer called Kingsland. Now, Payne Webber wants to meet the needs of its clients, and so far, the Payne Webber offers everything but online trading because it didn't want to cut into brokers' commissions. Well, that could come soon, and we're going to question tonight on the Cavuto Business Report Payne Webber's CEO, Donald Marin, to see what's all behind this move.
That's 5 o'clock Eastern.
11 o'clock
I know I have to do
Eastern.
4, 3, 2.
5 and 11 Eastern.
Oh, 5 and 11 Eastern
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You
Now,
guys
it
are
might not be
flexible.
tonight. I think we're going to do some Monica stuff tonight, but at 11 o'clock. But certainly at 5 o'clock, we're going to be there with Donald Marin, CEO of Payne Webber.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. And you're right. Monica at 11 o'clock. Hannity and Combs will be live tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Pacific. Right after Monica talks on ABC, switch over to us because Hannity and Combs will take your calls and you get your input, all that. Coming up next here on Fox News Now, it's a search for the perfect egg, but not what you think. It's a race for excellent genes. This one's interesting. Stay tuned.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In the time, give it to me easy and let me try with pleasured hands. I really want to know it's the time of the season for love.
Gosh, you know, I just went to use the phone. You say once you got back, your wife was gone. Yes, sir. Hello. What? Have you checked the hot enchilada?
Oh, no. Millicent gets terrible heartburn.
Not this time.
What's that?
Looks like the remains of one of those new Pepsid AC chewables.
Now the first chewable that stops heartburn before it starts. Great tasting Pepcid AC Chewable.
Millicent? Is that you?
Start living heartburn-free with new Pepcid AC Chewables.
Well, Ray, it's crunch time now.
Right you are, Ted. Look, you got hungry kids coming on strong up the middle and around in.
Mom needs a big play to satisfy him.
Watch, she goes right for the Totino's Pizza Roll.
Tasty, ooh, the great taste of pizza in bite-sized rolls.
She spins to the microwave.
Does she have enough time?
Here they come. She rolls left. Oh, she rolls right.
Totino's Pizza Roll. Sensational.
And it looks like a big win for the home team.
Let's see that again.
Chocolate milk? This isn't ordinary chocolate milk. It's rich chocolate Ovaltine. Compare the labels. It's got vitamins. Nestle Quick has none. When it comes to nutrition, Ovaltine beats Quick, hands down. For us, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
More Ovaltine, please.
We get really dry skin.
Dry, itchy skin. For dry, itchy skin, these non-medicated moisturizers all fall short of new Gold Bond medicated body lotion. Triple Action Gold Bond moisturizes, protects, and stops itch. New Gold Bond medicated body lotion. More than a moisturizer, it's medicated.
On the next special report, Jonah Goldberg, contributing editor of National Review and one of the first people to hear the original Lewinsky tape, will give us his take on the much-anticipated Barbara Walters interview with Monica, her book, and all that. Next special report.
I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
He was as charismatic as he was controversial and remains one of the giant figures of the 20th century. How much do you really know about our 32nd president? Help yourself to a quiz on FDR this weekend on Fox Movietone News.
21 minutes before the hour on Fox News Now. And in the near future, you may be able to choose the eye color, hair color, even the sex of your baby. But one infertile couple can't wait for science. And now they're scouring the country for the perfect egg. An egg they want to, quote, fit into their family. Is the couple playing God or just seeking what God didn't give them? Here with more, Darlene and Tom Pinkerton. Darlene is coordinating the campaign to find the egg for the anonymous couple, and her husband Tom is the attorney for the couple. Thanks, guys, for coming in. And first of all, what traits is this couple looking for?
Well, they're looking for the traits that we put in the ad. They're looking for a tall woman. She needs to be under 35. That's because of medical reasons. And they're looking for an SAT of 1400. They're looking for the tallness because they're a tall family, and they want a child that will fit in. The family is educated, very well educated, and believes in education, and so we're looking for a 5'10" woman that is an intelligent woman.
Darlene, how you feel about this?
How do I feel about it?
Yep.
I feel fine about it, or I wouldn't be doing this.
Really?
Yes, I absolutely know that whatever child they end up with, whether it's tall, short, 1400 or less, they're going to love this child, and that's why I'm doing this.
Is it the right thing to do, though, do you think, to start setting forth all these qualifications? I mean, a 1400 on the SAT?
Well,
come on.
You know, I can ask you, who do you date? Do you date people that have your same
You know what?
interest?
I don't date eggs. There's a big difference.
I don't know. I think that, you know, when someone can't supply their own biological material, if you will, to put it in those kind of terms, that you choose someone that resembles you. And in the case of a male, they're going to look for someone who resembles the male. In the case of a woman who needs an egg donor, they're generally looking for someone that resembles them.
Tom, what are they willing to pay for all this?
Well, the ad's $50,000. That's what they're willing to pay. And by the way, I also want to say, everyone is looking for the perfect egg. We've been doing this since 1990. We have a surrogate child ourselves, have dealt with infertility. And every couple, no matter if they're borrowing on their credit cards, borrowing from their parents, or paying $50,000, is looking for the perfect egg to match their family.
Well, what about genetics, though? Just because you find the perfect egg here doesn't mean you're going to come up with the perfect child. I mean, that could be a real letdown for these anonymous, too, couldn't it?
I don't think it'll be a letdown at all. Whatever child they have, they're going to love.
Well, then why not just go ahead and just have a normal egg like anybody else would get? I mean, why be so specific if they're going to love the kid anyway?
Well, if you've ever dealt with infertility or you've searched for an egg, which you probably haven't, not having dated an egg, you're going to look for a person who fits your same characteristics. So this isn't any old egg anyway. I mean, you could say, why not adopt? This couple is like any other couple. Just so happens they're willing to pay an Ivy League student, if that's who we get, about 1.5 years tuition. Is that too much?
Tom, there are also those who would suggest that that $50,000 could be a lot better spent, and a lot of people out there could use 50 grand.
Well, then you're assuming that the family isn't generous in other ways, and I don't think that's a fair assumption.
Tell us about this family, why they want to be anonymous.
Almost everyone, 99% of the couples that choose a donor are anonymous. This is not anything unusual.
Well, I just wondered why. I didn't, you know.
I think because everyone wants to feel that once the egg is donated to them, it's their child, and they want to move on, and they want to have their family.
Gotcha. All right, hang on, hold the thought. What do you think about all this? Paying for an egg and then trying to get whatever kind of child it is you want and then loving the child no matter what, of course. We'll be right back with more on the search for the perfect egg as Fox News Now rolls on a Monica Wednesday afternoon. Stay tuned.
Mortgage interest rates have been slashed to some of their lowest levels ever. The time to refinance is right now. Just call DiTech Funding at 1-800-71-FIXED. Today's low 30-year fixed rate is just 7%, APR 7.261%. There are no points, no deposits, and rates will never go down to zero. So what are you waiting for?
It's smart financing from DiTech Funding.
Refinance now to a low 30-year fixed rate of just 7% with 0 points. Call 1-800-71-FIXED.
Want a biscuit that's bigger? Try Pillsbury Grand's biscuits. They're our biggest biscuits.
Big? Why, they're huge!
Big, delicious buttermilk biscuits that are light and fluffy. It's a taste your family will love.
They're not just big, they're grand! Woohoo!
For a hearty taste, try Golden Wheat or Golden Corn Grands.
I've never been so surprised. I can't believe he did it.
Well, it was easy, with a little help from our new MasterCard.
Now you can be approved for all the convenience and savings of a Bank One Preferred Membership Group MasterCard with a low 3.9% introductory APR and no annual fee. It's easy. Call this toll-free number now, and your new card may be just a phone call away.
There was a lot to do to get it all together, and not much time. So I used my card to order the flowers by phone. Plus, my credit line helped me do the things I needed to. And I saved money with my low rate.
And now you may save hundreds of dollars on new purchases and purchases you've already made when you transfer balances. Pay off high-interest department store cards and credit cards and save with your low 3.9% APR. Call this number now to request your Preferred Membership Group MasterCard.
I almost didn't make the party myself. I needed gas, and I left my cash at home. I was glad I had my card.
And I like how our new MasterCard makes things easier. I can speak to a customer service person 24 hours a day, and I can use it almost anywhere.
No other card is accepted at more places. And you can get cash at 778,000 banks and ATMs.
What's best is our new MasterCard is there for us every day.
What's best is he kept the party a secret and kept within our budget.
Call now to get your card with a low 3.9% APR, no annual fee, and a generous credit line. And now when you receive your card, you will also get a free Kodak camera preloaded with film. The Bank One Preferred Membership Group MasterCard. You'll use it every day and for priceless occasions too.
Call 1-800-841-1846 now to get a low 3.9% APR, no annual fee, and a free Kodak camera and roll of film.
Welcome back. Now for the other side of the great egg debate, is this tactic ethical? We've been talking already with Darlene and Tom Pinkerton, the lawyer and the coordinator for all of this. Now joined here in our New York studio by Dr. Richard Grazi, who's the director of one of the fertilization programs for a medical center here in this area. And doctor, what's wrong with an infertile couple looking for an egg that might match closely the egg the mother would produce if she could produce eggs?
Absolutely nothing wrong with doing such a thing. In fact, egg donation is a technique that we use every day and brings untold happiness to couples who would otherwise not be able to have families on their own. The problem that I have is with this particular type of specific selection using specific traits and also with the money involved. I think it sends a bad message, and I think it's incorrect eugenics. I do believe that the limits of a person's capabilities are defined to some extent on their genetic endowment, but certainly you can get a donor who has had 1,400 on their SATs and is 5'10", and the child may not grow up to be to meet the expectations of the couple.
Yeah, Tom and Darlene, something to think about.
Well, first of all, the expectation isn't there. You know, I think that people are assuming things that are just not true in this case.
Well, you know, then I don't understand why they look for the specifics. If the expectations aren't there, then why search for those specifics?
You know, if it happens, it would be great. If it doesn't, it's still great. What they want is a baby. And as far as the money, I think that's also a misunderstanding. We're not paying $50,000 for an egg. They feel that the woman is being generous to them, and they have the means to be generous back.
But I think what the Dr. Grazi is worried about is sort of an unhealthy competition and the bringing in of those who might not be in the donating of eggs pool, correct?
Well, Ms. Pinkerton discussed this in the article that I read in the paper today, that when she originally placed the ad and did not place the dollar amount in the ad, they only got 6 respondents.
That's
However,
correct.
when the $50,000 reward, so to speak, was placed in the newspaper, then they have 200. So that large sum of money has all of a sudden expanded the donor pool, and my suggestion would be that you've brought many, many more people into that potential donor pool by selecting for certain genetic traits. I wonder if maybe you've selected out some traits that might be related to things like compassion and altruism, which is the reason that most egg donors donate at the current time.
I agree with you 100%. And as a matter of fact, we may have had 200 who are interested, but we have already lost, I would say, between 70 and 80% of those women. And when it comes down
How'd that happen?
Because there's some effort involved. It's not a simple $50,000. There's a surgery involved. There's medications involved. There's injections. And that is something that some people are not interested in doing, even for $50,000.
You know, have you ever seen, Doctor, those Auto Trader papers where you go in and you list all kinds of autos and this is available and that's available? I mean, color me cynical, but I can see these magazines coming out. Get an egg. My wife's made it 1,600 on her SATs and she's 6'7". And that's a nasty thought.
Don't misunderstand how that technique works. It does involve a fair amount of work on the part of the egg donor. It is uncomfortable. It's nothing like sperm donation, obviously. And I do believe that egg donors need to be fairly compensated for their work. However, once you get into sums of money that are really life-altering events, you are going to be coercing some women who might not be willing to donate otherwise.
I guess my question is this the beginning? I mean, normally the market dictates, and when we log on to eggdonors.com someday, and if you have enough money, you can get the perfect egg. And if that's the case, is that right?
Exactly the opposite will happen, and this has been shown in other countries where they went from voluntary blood donation to paid blood donation.
Gotcha.
What we will see happening as the costs escalate is that the pool of donors will decrease in quality. As more women are vying for the money part, more inappropriate donors will be coming to the fore.
Gotcha. Dr. Richard Grazi, Darlene and Tom Pinkerton, we are out of time. But it certainly is interesting. Best of luck to the people you're working for.
Thank you.
And gosh, I hope this all stays good. If you're interested in more of this at home, you can log on to foxnews.com. There's all kinds of stuff on there. And up next here on the cable side of it all, it's all about ratings. We'll take a look back at Clinton's TV appearances and Michael Jackson on the night of Monica Lewinsky's session. And the Beltway buzz is that Tipper Gore got a facelift. Do you care at all? Well, the dirt's in the New York Post, page 6, and we're shoveling it your way when Fox News Now continues in a moment. This is Fox News Now on a Fox Monica Wednesday.
Coming March 8th, a new fuel for kids. K-Essentials, only from Kellogg's.
What if Lipper Analytical named you the #1 general equity fund of the last 10 years?
The Kaufman Fund.
And if Fortune's Retirement Guide ranks you as one of the best mutual funds 7 years in a row?
The Kaufman Fund.
And if Smart Money Magazine recently named your managers as among the most influential in the mutual fund industry, you would be the Kaufman Fund, investing in small companies with substantial growth prospects. The Kaufman Fund, 800-797-2972. Call now for your free prospectus.
I love working here. It's exciting, feeling like we're changing things for the better. At Zurich Direct, there are no surprises. You call us and we give you a free quote on high-quality term life insurance with no strings attached. And these rates are up to 70% less than what some other insurers charge. I mean, why pay more than you have to?
Hi, thank you for calling Zurich Direct. This is Wendy. How may I help you?
It really is simple.
Well, Mr. Madden, you're 42 in good health and you don't smoke? That's great. A 10-year, $250,000 policy is just $23 a month, and your rate is guaranteed.
Everyone has questions when they call in. They want to know they're doing business with the right company. You'd be amazed how many letters we get from people just saying thanks.
Well, you can choose a 5, 10, 15, or 20.
Coverage can start in just a few
Sure, I
weeks.
can help you with that. I'll just...
Absolutely.
I think everyone should call Zurich Direct, but then again, I'm probably a little partial.
Call 1-888-550-TERM. Zurich Direct, a unit of Zurich Kemper Life.
Factor this, Barbara Walters doesn't have the only big Lewinsky interview. Here on The Factor, we'll talk with Monica's high school boyfriend. And Al Gore under fire from the animal rights people on the next O'Reilly Factor.
The O'Reilly Factor is brought to you by Yahoo, the world's favorite internet guide.
The most powerful name in news bringing you a little rain on a Wednesday Monica afternoon in New York City. It's been kind of warm out today, like 54 out there right now, I think, but this front's moving through, and by drive time this afternoon, train time, commute time, it's going to be ugly in the land of the yellow cars. Whew. All right, tonight ABC tries to wrestle the highest television interview ratings of all time on this last day of the all-important ratings period. Bill McCuddy points out they have a lot of competition. A lot of competition.
Coincidence on the last day of ratings?
Come on.
I wish I could act surprised. Well, NBC thinks they've already won the sweeps period, but ABC's president says, quote, it ain't over till the interns sing. Yes, tonight Monica speaks. For 2 hours, Barbara Walters gets to grill her about all things presidential. It means a big advertising payday for ABC, something in the neighborhood of $40 million. But will it be the highest-rated celebrity TV confessional? Let's look at the competition from the past few years. Can you guess which drew the biggest audience? Our president certainly seems to know what viewers want. His press conferences would never top a Nielsen chart, but he drew a huge audience on 2 other occasions in the last 8 years. One was in 1992 when he jammed on the now-defunct Arsenio Hall show, Getting Busy, wailing Lisa Simpson style on the sax and boosting sales for Ray-Ban sunglasses. The other time was in the same year, but he was playing an altogether different tune. He sat somberly next to the First Lady for a post-Super Bowl 60 Minutes interview. That was to deny he had an affair with Jennifer Flowers. Hillary said she believed him. In 1993, it was Michael Jackson's turn to do a little denying. Oprah Winfrey's one-on-one with the accused pedophile was broadcast in prime time on ABC instead of her syndicated afternoon show. Well, maybe Michael was mad at Oprah after that because in 1995, he and then-wife Lisa Marie sat down with Diane Sawyer for another primetime chat, this time to dispel rumors that there was trouble in their marriage. And who could forget Lisa Marie's insistence that they did too have sex? Yikes. They were divorced shortly thereafter. Later that same year, English star Hugh Grant had a little run-in with the law. His autoerotica with a Hollywood hooker turned the trick, for Jay Leno. The appearance and sheepish mea culpa is widely credited with giving the late-night crown to Jay after he'd been slugging it out neck and neck with David Letterman. And the winner is, well, here's a rundown of those 5 appearances and the number of people who tuned in. Did you guess Oprah and Michael? That 1993 primetime airing kicked a little Q&A. 62 million people tuned in, far and away the largest audience for a TV interview in the 90s. Experts say tonight's audience won't top those numbers. For one thing, there's been a lot of saturation of the story. Can you say 24-hour news? So there's less mystery. How close will it come? We'll know tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Well, you mentioned all the kind of sordid interviews that have gotten big ratings. Have there been any, like, positive ones?
Well, if you'll recall, 2020 also, Barbara Walters again talked to Christopher Reeve after his accident, and
that was a very moving interview.
Very moving. Everyone wanted to know how he was, and 28.8 million people tuned in for that one.
Bigger numbers tonight.
Well, yes, we think so, but not big enough for them to win the almighty sweeps.
Because they'd have to get
already declared themselves.
They'd have to get an 88 share,
An 88 share, which has never happened.
Right.
So.
That would mean 88 out of every 100 televisions turned on would have to be on Monica. Ain't going to happen. Because we'll have some
Probably
audience
not.
here.
Yes, we will.
Now, back to the papers from this morning. This, from the New York Daily News this morning, Monica's Other Man. Now, this newspaper got somehow a leak from ABC, probably a planted leak, who knows.
Shep, if you turn sideways, that profile looks an awful lot.
Yeah, but this guy's name is, he was actually a high-ranking Pentagon official.
Right, 42 years old. He was not married.
Right, but she was having an affair with him after her affair with the president was over, according to the Daily News, which says that's one of the big blockbusters. And this from the New York...
Is that an affair, though, if you're not married and she's not married?
I don't know what... I don't know how to classify anything anymore. I don't really know what sex is. New York Post, Monica phone sex shocker. Israelis tapped 30 hours of steamy calls, according to a book. Well, there's been a response to this from Israel, from Mossad this morning, and a quote which has come across the Fox internal wires. A spokesman for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says, "I find it incredible that anyone can take it seriously beyond the pale and beneath contempt every aspect that I've read in the New York Post." So, I mean, I can't believe really that the New York Post would make such a big mistake, but according to Mossad, they did make that big a mistake. So tonight, Monica, you'll be watching.
All of this will have everyone, I think, tubeside tonight from 9 to 11. 2 hours.
9 to 11 Eastern and Pacific.
Right.
But something that we need to mention, especially for people out on the West Coast, at 11 o'clock Eastern time, after the Monica interview has aired on the East Coast, Hannity and Combs will be live from then on the Fox News Channel. So any of you who live in Mountain and Pacific times, you'll be able to hear Hannity and Combs at 11 Eastern, which is 8 Pacific. You'll be able to get an hour upstart on the broadcast of this from Hannity and Combs. So for those of you who live on the West Coast, 8 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Mountain time, 10 o'clock Central time, 11 o'clock Eastern time. That's when Hannity and Combs will be live. So for those of you on the West Coast, you'll get a sneak preview of everything going on tonight.
My head's going to explode.